templates. Now, what we're going to focus on is making sure in a couple things. We want you to penetrate quicker into the database so you can reach more customers faster. The way you're going to do this is that the first thing you want to do is after you click in the client that you're looking for, in this case we're going to be using test account, is that there's always a first name and a last name and a business email. This is something that you will absolutely need in order to move forward. Now, one of the things that you're going to do when you start doing when you're calling is that you make the phone call, then you go to an activity, you add an activity, so you log in your call. Maybe this time you call and you left a message, so you say called, left message. Now, because this is the first time you're doing a cold call, you also want to add an activity and you want to send them an email. On that email, you want to say, I called I called your office today. Sometimes there's a template in here that you can add, or other times you can just write it directly into the email. You say, hi, Alan, and then you write your message. Once you write the message, you can do a couple of things. You can send yourself a test message to see what it looked like, but for the most part, you can just save it and place that order to go. One of the things that you'll notice right away is that the to section is already filled in for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you can also send it at different times or different dates. But because this is an email that you will send right away, you can just place the order. So every client that you call or you try to reach should always have a phone call and should always have an email. Now, the last thing you want to do is that you want to schedule a follow-up event, right? Because you want to know when you're going to follow up with this lead. So you put cold call follow-up. And you may want to cold call follow-up maybe 2 days from today. In this case, will be a Saturday, so let's just go ahead and say Monday. And then you place your order. And then the time, it's irrelevant. You can put it whatever time you want. So these are all the steps that you would take to do one account. So to recap, you open the account, you're trying to reach by phone, you call, you write your notes, and you leave a message. Then you send an email. Then you write a follow-up date. Then you move on to the next account. What I want to teach you now how to do is how do you do all these 3 steps by just making one click. So I'm going to delete these ones again because we're not going to need it. So ideally, when you come into your daily routine to start making your phone calls, you look at the database and you make the phone call. After you make the phone call, and this is your first cold call attempt, you will go to your name. For example, this will be Alan Cold Call 1, and you just click on this template, and all the 3 activities will be automatically populated, so you can just move on to the next one. You called and you left a message. You already have a pre-written email that it's already in here. The test account it is, the subject information is already there. Hi, first name will be auto-populated. And here's a message already written down so you can move forward. If you wanted to edit this before it went out, you can. So I'm going to delete this extra space that's going on over here. And that's it. We'll be ready to go. But maybe you wanted to add a little bit more. Say, hey, I called and I left a message. Call left a message with receptionist. Then now you can place an order and you can move forward. So by just making a few clicks, you can actually move faster through the database. Now you can also see that your appointment is already been set for 2 days to follow up on the cold call. So that's pretty simple. So let's move forward and fast forward to 2 days from today. You come to your reports and activities. You see that this is due. You open the account. The first thing you want to do is, okay, I'm already here. I'm following up on this one. I am going to complete this task because I'm going to make the call. You place the order. So then this task is already completed, and then now you make the call. You're waiting, it's ringing, it's ringing, it's ringing. And now this time, answering machine picks up. So you can go Alan cold call attempt 2. This is going to put another set of activities, which will say call left a message. Now this is another email that is going to be going out, and this one is called sorry I missed you. Right? If you want to open it and look at it, we can. Again, it's going to be sent right away. is going to the email that is in the test account or the business email, and here's the other message. This was, I called your office today, sorry I missed you. And then I move forward. The emails, all the information is already here. Once again, if you wanted to edit anything, that's fine, you can, but you don't have to, because that's the reason of the templates, that you can just click once and move forward. Now the appointment for this event is fast forward to 4 days from today. So let's fast forward now to 4 days. You come into your reports and activities, you click on that, you see that this is due for you to call. Then you open it and you say, okay, I'm going to call this person. So you click on complete it, you place the order, and then you make the phone call. So now you're making the phone call, you're waiting, and once again, you call and there is no answer. So you add another attempt. Alan called number 3. This one we left a message. Now this one is called I tried reaching your office today. We're going to open it one more time so you can review it. It says hi, first name. I know how busy you are, so the email's a little bit different. And then you start talking a little bit more about the app and so on, and then you add your information. So place the order. Now this one is scheduled to be called in 6 days from today. So this way, the first time that you do a cold call is you call in 2 days. You call, you send an email, then you set it for 2 days later. Then you call and you send another email immediately. You set it for 4 days later. Then you call and you send an email immediately, and you can set it for 6 days later. So let's fast forward to 6 days and you make the phone call. And then now you actually talk to the decision maker. And the decision maker says, hey, you know what, Alan, send me something. I got some of your emails, but please send me something. It's like, sure, not a problem. Thank you for your time. And then now you go to Alan, send me something, template. And then now you can see it that one, I put the notice already here, spoke to decision maker and asked me to send him information. If I wanted to add more information to remind me of a specific conversation, all I do is edit, send me information. He was very excited. He was very interested about the app. Right? So this would kind of give me an idea that he actually really wanted to hear this information. The thing about this email here is that it has everything that we talked about before. It's going to go right away. It's already auto-populated all the information. Mobile app information requested. But what you see here is that I have an attached document, which is a mobile ESQ flyer. Each one of you guys have one with your name on it, and you can attach it. And the email goes out. It's already here. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about our mobile ESQ and allowing us to customize a solution for you. And then it goes into a few more details, and then again the information, next steps on what to do. Right? If I wanted to edit and custom that before it goes out, I can, to make it a little bit more personalized, and it goes. Right? And then here is the next event. It's already set up for us to follow up, in 2 days after sending the request. So now let's fast forward in 2 days. You make the phone call, and then now he says, hey, I'm really interested. Why don't you send me a proposal? You said, sure. So now you type that in the proposal, and then you can send it forward. So now how you can see how each one of these activity templates will make your life a lot easier, and you can work a lot faster. So let's hold back a second, and then this is how you're going to be using the templates. You can look back at this and see how much work you've done in just simple clicks rather than writing one at a time. So let me start deleting some of these messages. The next step that I want to teach you is how do you set up your own template, so this way you can just put your name on it and then move forward. So as I delete this one by one, the way we're going to do this is that we're going to start with a test account like this one. You can create your own test account if you like, with your name, your emails, and this way you can always test with yourself first. The way that you want to do it is that there's a couple of ways. The easiest ways to do it right now is that you will go to activity, arrange activity templates. You will insert a template of activities, and for example, you start with Alan called 1. So here it is. Now, once this has been set up, you want to go inside and edit all the information that is pertinent to you, right? For instance, you want to come over here and change the name, the title, the phone number extension. Um, you have to make sure that you want to change all those documents, and this way it looks personalized from you. Then you save that. You change that and then you save it. Then once you have that, you will go to Arrange Activity Template, and instead of going to Insert, you go down to Save the current set of activities as a new template. You will go over here and you will call it your first name. So for example, Scott hyphen cold call 1. And you click OK. Now when you go back to Arrange Activity Templates and you go to Insert, now here's Scott cold call template. So it's very simple and straightforward to do. So we'll do it once again. Say for example, you will go to Insert Activity Templates. Now you're going to do number 2. You click now number 2. Here's the 3 steps. You will go back and edit the email, change that signature information or any other pertinent information such as the phone number, the emails, the signatures, the name, and then you will go to Save the current set of activities as a new template, and we're going to stick with Scott hyphen cold call 2. Now if I want to view it, I go to Insert an Activity Template of Activities. Here is Scott cold call 1, cold call 2, etc., etc. So that's the way that you want to utilize the Arrange Activity templates. Now let's say for example you want to have a new set of activities where no email goes out and it's just a follow-up call, right? So then what you will do is, for example, you go to a blank canvas like this one, then you will log in the call. You said spoke to customer and asked to call again next week. You place that order, you set up another scheduled event, follow-up call on conversations. And he wanted on a week from today, so next week will be on the 16th. That will give me 7 days. And I'll place that. Now there are 2 steps here, so what I can do now is I will go to Activity, Arrange a current set of activities as a new template, and I'm going to call this one Alan call again in a week. So that it is that simple. Now I have another template where it says call again in a week. So as I call and I talk to people and they say, hey Alan, I need you to call me again, I'm just busy right now. It's like, sure, should I call you next week? It's like, yes, that would work. Perfect. So all I do is just enter this information and move forward. So that's the way you use Arrange Activity templates, and that's how you utilize this information. I hope this has been helpful. For the meantime, what I will do is that I will delete information that I don't need. I don't need that one right now. I will need for each one of you guys to start going through each one of these ones and creating your own. Try not to delete mines because those are the master ones, and then we can take it from there. Should you have any questions, feel free to give me a call.